Hi, my name is Emma Fulce, and I am a collections specialist at the Eskenazi Museum of Art on the campus of Indiana University, Bloomington. My areas of expertise and research are the arts of Africa, Oceania, and Indigenous art of the Americas. As a collection specialist, I work with a lot of different departments within the museum: curators, conservators, and preparators, just to name a few. I work to track the movement of objects within our collection, document changes to object condition, and keep our database up to date. I also work closely with our African, Oceanic, and Indigenous Art of the Americas collection, for which I was previously the curatorial assistant. In that work, I do research on the collection, write texts for exhibitions, develop tour materials, and more. I have always loved museums and learning about different cultures. When I was a little kid, my parents took me to the Field Museum in Chicago, and I was obsessed. As an undergraduate student, I majored in art history and classics, both of which allowed me to study my world and other cultures through art and history and literature. In my career, I want to be able to help other people feel those connections to other cultures and have that same sense of curiosity that struck me as a child in the Field Museum. A lot of the work that I do has a global or international component. Most of the objects that I work with were created outside of the United States. As a result, my work involves a lot of research about cultures that are not my own. And I also have to be aware of how global cultures have interacted historically and the ways in which they're still interacting today. For example, I need to know a lot about the collecting practices and trade of the objects that are in our collection. In college and graduate school, I studied French and have also studied a little German. These languages have been really helpful in my career, as many of the collectors of the art objects I work with were from France or Germany, meaning that a lot of the early documentation and research is in French and German. In addition, some of the world's leading scholars in both the museum and art historical fields speak French and German. And it's also really important when traveling and doing research to speak at least a little of the language of the country you're going to. I did research in France that would not have been possible without my language skills. You also need a certain level of cultural literacy to do my job. It's important to know about the objects, but it's also really important to know about the people and the culture that made them. Having an understanding of the culture that produced an object or our working relationship with that community is often necessary when deciding if conservation can be done or what manner in which an object can be appropriately displayed. For anyone who is interested in a career in museums, I would suggest taking an art history class or history or anthropology or language and seeing what jumps out to you, seeing what you love. This is a career path where you are really able to love what you do. Also volunteer. We have volunteers at the Eskenazi Museum of Art. We also have interns and graduate assistants who help in every department. So curatorial, registration, conservation, education, marketing, and development. So you can really find what you're interested in doing. If you want more information, you can learn how to apply on our website.